jungle stirred awake with a pulse of life that throbbed through the thick morning air as dawn spilled its golden breath across the leaves above. Birdsong rose in a wild chorus, twining with the distant hush of falling water and the breath of jasmine and rain-soaked earth. In this living, breathing wilderness walked Zara and Finn, hearts bound tighter than vines, love burning brighter than the sun filtering through the trees. Their story was not a whisper in the wind, but a storm in full roar, not a fairy tale, but a fire lit deep in the belly of the earth. Every step they took was a vow carved in mud and blood and memory. They had left behind the steel cages and glass towers of the world they once knew, trading neon for starlight traffic, for silence. Their camp stood like a challenge woven from palm and canvas, not just a shelter, but a flag planted in defiance of everything ordinary. With a blade in one hand and a dream in the other, they stepped forward, chasing something half myth, half truth, a legend whispered by the wind itself. Zara was the flame bright and fierce. Her eyes saw more than leaves and shadows. She read the jungle like scripture, deciphering the bend of a branch, the arc of a bird's flight, the hush before something dangerous. She carried a compass aged by time, a bundle of herbs with names only she could pronounce, and a journal filled with words and wild sketches, each one a love letter to Finn and to the wild. He was the calm in her chaos, the roots to her storm. His hands built what? Nature broke his voice, steadied what fear cracked. Their love had sparked beneath a falling sky and grown in the heartbeat silence of dusk, now fanned into a fire that even the jungle could not smother. Their journey began with a story spun from a toothless mouth in a riverside village, a tale of the heart of the emerald, a jewel so bright it could summon fireflies from the stars and offer wisdom to the worthy. Others laughed and passed it off as a dream, but Zara and Finn saw destiny. They packed light but smart rope and dried food, charcoal and ink. The jungle greeted them with no kindness, only challenge. A ravine waited with slick moss and a raging river. Below, Finn braced a rope while Zara plotted. Each move they crossed with their hearts in their throats, laughter breaking out as they fell into each other. On the other side, skin slick, breath wild. The wild showed beauty that struck like lightning. A grove of orchids bloomed in blood-red and gold petals, catching the dying light like stained glass. Zara dropped to her knees, sketching as fast as her hands would let her. Finn crowned her with a garland of flowers and called her queen of the wild, and they danced there barefoot, laughter rising like smoke. But danger hid beneath the flowers. A viper stirred its body, gleaming green as glass. Zara stilled her breath, eyes fixed as she signaled for retreat. They moved as one, slow, deliberate, hearts hammering, until the snake disappeared, leaving only silence and the throb of life between their joined hands. The days bled together, heat and hunger carving shadows into their skin. They argued, fire crackling between them, Zara's voice edged with desperation, Finn's reply a low ache of self-doubt. "I'm not enough for this," he whispered, and her heart cracked open, but not apart. She reached for him, voice raw. "I would rather fall beside you than stand alone." And in the hush that followed they healed slowly, voices low, laughter creeping in, memories blooming like night flowers around. The fire. They found the temple swallowed by green bones of stone, half consumed by the earth inside it. The gem waited, glowing soft and sure in the silence. Zara reached for it, as if in a dream, and Finn stood, watch his gaze cutting through the dark like a blade. The gem was more than treasure, it was their reflection, a bright pulse born of struggle and devotion. Glyphs carved into the walls whispered of ancient ones who believed love was the greatest bravery of all. Zara captured every symbol in her journal. Finn photographed what words could not hold. They left the gem behind as an offering, not out of fear, but out of understanding. Some things belong to the wild. Their love had earned something deeper than possession. On the way back, the jungle tested them once more with storms and predators, with hunger and exhaustion. But they met each challenge side by side, hand in hand. They tricked a panther with stones, survived a flood, clinging to each other through the roar of rising water, and found their camp again, worn and wiser. Beside the fire, Zara opened her journal, its pages now alive with stories and dreams and wild truths. They spoke of what they found and what they left behind, and of the wisdom now stitched between them. Love was no longer just a spark, but a decision made again and again through shadow and light. Finn touched her cheek, his voice soft. "You are my heart with or without emeralds," and she smiled, eyes bright, their bodies pulled close as flames danced around them. Still the jungle did not rest. A new tale whispered through the trees, a valley of mist, lights like ghosts, caves waiting in silence. Zara leaned over her map, eyes bright with the hunger of discovery. Finn laughed, that deep laugh full of wind and warmth, and they knew they would chase it too. The jungle had claimed them not as prisoners, but as its own. This was Zara and Finn, a love not bound by walls or time, but forged in sweat and spirit and soil, a legend that did not end with a kiss, but began again and again with every step into the unknown. So ask yourself if you dared to follow love through wild, and wonder who would you walk beside. The jungle waits, and it remembers every name spoken in courage, and every heart that burned bright enough to leave a trail behind.